Peanut butter, one of the simplest foods on the planet and one of the most beloved. In the United States, it's consumed in such huge amounts that the average American eats about 3 kilograms per year. That's more than 6 jars every single year per person. Just think about that number. The story dates back to the 1890s. American doctor John Harvey Kellogg, yes, the same name you see on cereal boxes, patented a method for grinding peanuts into a paste. At the time, it was a medicinal product for patients with digestive issues, soft, nutritious, and easy to eat without chewing. No one could have imagined that this invention would eventually take over the world. The real boom came during World War II. American soldiers received peanut butter in their field rations, cheap, filling, and long-lasting. When they returned home, they brought the habit with them. The country got hooked. Production grew year after year, decade after decade. Brands like Jif, Skippy, and Peter Pan became national icons. Their advertising jingles were memorized by entire generations of American children. Today, the global peanut butter market is valued at nearly $5 billion. Every year, more than 3 million tons are produced worldwide. It's eaten in America and Australia, in Europe and Asia, spread on toast, blended into smoothies, added to sauces and baked goods. Peanut butter is no longer just food. It's part of culture, a symbol of childhood, the smell of a morning kitchen. But before it reaches your table, every jar goes through an incredible journey. And it doesn't start at a factory. It starts underground. Peanuts are a unique crop, strange when you think about it. Unlike most nuts, they don't grow on trees or bushes. They grow underground. After the flower is pollinated, the stem bends down toward the soil, and the fruit literally buries itself to mature in darkness. Nature thought this millions of years ago, and to this day, no engineer has come up with anything better. The main suppliers of peanuts on the global market are China, India, the United States, and Argentina. American farmers alone produce around 2 million tons per year, and nearly half of that harvest comes from a single state, Georgia. Its red clay soil and hot, humid summers create perfect conditions for growing peanuts. Local farmers simply call them ground nuts and treat them like gold. The planting season begins in April. The seeds are placed about 5 centimeters deep into the soil in precise rows with exact spacing. For 4 months, peanuts grow, flower, and mature underground, unseen and patient. At the end of August, special machinery enters the fields. Powerful inverters lift the plants from below, flip them upside down, and lay them out right on the field. This allows the peanuts to dry in the sun for several days. The moisture level must drop to the right point, otherwise mold can develop during storage. Then, picker combines move across the field, threshing the plants and separating the pods from the vines. The harvest is loaded into massive trucks and transported to storage facilities, where the initial sorting begins. The peanuts are cleaned of soil, stones, and debris. The moisture level of each batch is measured, and samples are taken for analysis. Then comes the most important test, the aflatoxin check. This is a dangerous fungal toxin that can form in peanuts if they are stored improperly. Every batch undergoes laboratory testing. Even the slightest exceedance of the limit, and the entire batch is destroyed. No exceptions. Only clean, dry, and perfect raw materials move on to the next stage. The approved peanuts are poured into giant silos, steel towers as tall as a 5-story building, each holding up to 1,000 tons. Here, the nuts wait their turn, sometimes for weeks, until a production line becomes available, until it's time to turn them into that very peanut butter. The factory never sleeps. The lines run 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Every hour, thousands of jars are produced here, and it all begins the moment peanuts leave the silo and land on the first conveyor belt. The first stop is cleaning. Peanuts in their shells pass through a series of vibrating screens and air streams. Machines remove small debris, dust, and accidentally mixed-in stones. Then shelling drums crack the shells open and blow them away. What remains are clean, beige peanuts covered in a thin, reddish skin. But that's not all. Optical sorters scan each nut at a speed of several thousand per second. Dark spots, wrinkles, irregular shapes, pneumatic jets instantly blast air and eject defective peanuts off the line. Only the best move forward. Next comes roasting, the heart of the entire process. Peanuts are loaded into rotating drum roasters several meters long. Inside, temperatures range from 160 to 180 degrees Celsius. The nuts slowly tumble, heating evenly from all sides. About half an hour, and the magic happens. The Maillard reaction. Amino acids and sugars react under high heat, transforming a simple raw peanut into a golden, crunchy, intensely aromatic one. This is the exact moment when that familiar smell we all love is born. But even a second too long can ruin it. Immediately after roasting, the peanuts enter the cooling zone. Powerful fans blast them with cold air, rapidly stopping the cooking process. The temperature drops from around 175 to 30 degrees in just minutes. Without this step, the peanuts would continue cooking from the inside, darken, and turn bitter. Precision is everything here. The next stage is blanching. Special machines remove the thin, reddish skins. Rubber rollers gently rub the peanuts against each other, causing the skins to crack and peel off. Strong air currents carry them away. What remains on the conveyor are clean, pale, perfectly processed peanuts. Another pass through optical sorting, and the batch is ready for the main event, grinding. This is where peanuts stop being nuts and become paste. The first stage is coarse grinding. The peanuts pass between two rotating millstones and turn into a rough, grainy crumble. The temperature rises, natural oils are released, and the mass becomes moist, dense, and fragrant. Then comes fine grinding. The mass passes through tightly set millstones again and again until it reaches a perfectly smooth, creamy texture. This is where technicians control consistency. For creamy peanut butter, the process continues longer. For crunchy, crushed peanut pieces are added at the very end. While the mass is still hot and fluid, salt, sugar, and a stabilizer are added. Most often, it's hydrogenated vegetable oil. Without it, natural peanut oil would separate and rise to the top of the jar within days. The stabilizer keeps the emulsion intact and gives the product that smooth, uniform look on store shelves. Everything is thoroughly mixed in massive mixers until completely homogeneous. The hot peanut butter, at around 60 degrees Celsius, is sent to the filling line. Automatic dispensers fill jar after jar with gram-level precision. The conveyor never stops. Lids are screwed on with exact torque. Too loose and it won't seal, too tight and the threads could strip. Each jar passes a weight check, a difference of just a few grams, and the jar is automatically rejected before it ever gets a label. The approved jars move on to cooling. After a few hours, the peanut butter sets into that familiar creamy texture. Label, pallet, truck. From a peanut field in Georgia to this moment, just a few weeks. From here to your table, only a few more days. And then, morning. Toast. And that same jar you open without a second thought. Because peanut butter has always been there. It is, and it will be.